Hi, I am
Yeah,
Shweta Samota here, and we have Dr. Murali with us. He joined my community to write his book a couple of months back last year, and he is one of the most dedicated students. He did it, and he also sent me a copy, Think Like an Anesthetist. This is his book, also available on Amazon Go, and order your copy right away. So let's listen from Dr. Murli why he decided to write this book and how has been his experience in surgery, operating theater, and what this book is all about. Okay. So congratulations, Dr. Murli, and welcome today. It's a pleasure to have you and to listen to you about your journey, about your book, and everyone, the readers and all the listeners and the viewers here today. I hope that you're going to get a lot of useful information from this session with Dr. Murli.
thank
Hi,
you.
Dr.
Thanks a lot,
Murli.
Sweta. I should call you Guruji because I think from the day one when we started, you would play a small prayer before we start writing the session. So I definitely would call you the Guruji because if not for you, I wouldn't have done this book. Now,
Thank you.
now starting with what this book is all about and why I have wrote it. Now, I've been an anesthetist now for more than a couple of decades, and to start with, in the society, there is very less amount of awareness as to what happens in an operating theater. All of us know that yes, patients are taken in, surgeries are performed, and then the patients are moved back to room or an ICU, whichever is deemed appropriate, and less so about what anesthetists do. And to start with, many people do not know that anesthetists are qualified doctors. A lot of the people in the community think that anesthetists are technicians. They just give some medicine, the patient is asleep for the duration of the procedure. Now, I wanted to break a few myths to start with by writing this book about anesthetists. And the second thing which I wanted to do is there is a lot of different thinking skills that we gain in any career, whether you be an investor, whether you are a driver, a pilot, a doctor, and doctor in different specialties gain different kinds of skills. Now, as an anesthetist, there are a few things which we gain. One is most of our decisions are irreversible. Now, when we give a drug, when we do something in the operation theater, it could be a matter of life and death, and that is one thing which we start appreciating career, and it does definitely change the DNA of our brain in such a way that we tend to think about every decision that we make as a very important decision.
True.
So we learn a lot of these kind of hacks as we go through our career, and I wanted to highlight these in the book, along with a few what we call as mental models, which I picked up from reading various other sources. So I wanted to put everything in one book so that it's helpful not only for a junior doctor, but even for a person in the community to understand what an anesthetist does and how they can apply these tools back in their life and improve their lives.
Wow.
So yeah, sorry. So this was something which was in the head brewing over the last 4 or 5 years, but one, lack of time. Second thing, lack of knowledge about how to publish a book, and of course lack of a coach. So all these things were probably keeping it somewhere hidden at the back, which came to the forefront after attending a workshop last March.
So I believe that you did it in like few months, right? You were able to write it in 3 months max, I guess. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So how it started was after your workshop, I started putting the outline. I had a brief outline, but the importance that you gave to the outline made a huge difference because I think without a proper outline, you can't write a book. And
Exactly.
and that outline took a while to kind, because it was the first time this kind of a book was being written. So I was not sure how to pitch the book and what the reader wanted and who would be the reader. So the outline was the main thing, after which I took a break for close to a month to do the research on the book. And then I got onto your 1 month program where we would write every day. And again, my handicap was typing because I would not know, to type at the speed that writers probably type. So I started using a text to speak engine,
Yes.
this text to speech engine, which again was very useful because then I could dictate what I thought and then I could get the first draft in. So it took a couple of months from the start of the outline to the first draft. And then the editing took a while, which probably is the rule with regards to books.
See, editing will take time. It totally depends on whether it's your first book or your 10th book. And accordingly, it will take time. But what caught me, when you were talking about your book, what caught my attention was that whatever you're doing in that theater that time, whatever decision you make is irreversible. And then now your mental, your decision making is based on that one thing, that it is going to be irreversible. So I want to learn that mental model, because we always think that in our life that we can always fix it later, but it would definitely help everyone to go through this book to at least learn that mental model of decision making ability and how it can affect us. So I want to read this and see. I've not read it, confession, but yes, I think everyone should read that.
Yeah, because what I did is I even addressed a few issues that as doctors we face. One of it is the stress. Now, as you probably know, in the last 2 years, it's been quite a difficult time for healthcare professionals in particular, because we had to go to the front line, we had to deal with patients, and coming back to home to the loved ones with fear has led to a lot of mental issues with doctors and other healthcare professionals. So I dedicated a few chapters as to how we deal with stress and what are the strategies that we can use, and the importance of sleep in combating stress. And the couple of chapters have been dedicated to that. And the other thing which I wanted to highlight to everybody is at least somebody in the family would have undergone anesthesia for some surgery. Now, when we go under anesthesia, it's a very philosophical thing that happens. We lose the identity. So you could be the prime minister, you could be, a coolie, but under anesthesia, that person now is a physiological entity. So when we deal with patients in the operating theater, we cannot differentiate a person based on what his class is, what his caste or gender, or to color. So whether we are giving anesthesia in Brazil, or whether it's India, or whether it is Japan, the physiological entity that forms the human is the same. So that is something which I wanted to bring in as a philosophical. I've not gone deep into it, but in one chapter I just touch upon it. That was something again which I wanted people to realize what happens under anesthesia.
Wow, that's also again a profound thing, that when we are under anesthesia, we are just an entity, a body, or as you said, a physiological being, nothing more. Wow. So now I got that why you wanted to write a book, but how this book has helped you in your career? Has it helped you in your career?
Now, one thing I feel writing a book does is it clarifies your own thoughts.
True. Absolutely.
While going through the entire literature search and reading through various, I would say, papers or books, it has made me a better person. One. Second thing is, with regards to my community, a lot of my senior anesthetists across India were thankful that a book like this came out, because it was something which had never been done earlier. And a lot of them who read it have given for positive feedback and have recommended it to their juniors. So it definitely has made a difference. And I feel that I have given back something to the community. So in a way, it has improved me, because definitely I learned a lot, not only about writing the book, about designing a cover, what are the different things that goes into generating a Kindle file, various things about the Amazon entire platform. So I've learned a lot apart from anesthesia, which has gone into the book. Also, it has given a sense of completion when it comes to giving back to the society.
So it has not only helped you in career, but in your personal life also, in your emotional state, in your confidence, everywhere, So you cannot say that it will help you just in career, but it will help you in lot other places probably you're not even thought of. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, impact, we measure it by impact. So of course, it is an impactful book.
No, in fact, I've never written a book or written anything like, apart from articles for medical publication. So my initial thought was, even if it benefits 5 people, I'll go ahead and write it. So that was my initial thought when I went in. And it does give goosebumps the first time you see your book listed anywhere. So that was a very nervous feeling, especially when you know that your book is going to be received by a whole lot of people and what they have to say. So I think that's a process that every writer will probably go through. So the other thing which it has done is it has inspired my wife to take up writing as well. So she normally used to write articles, but she's in the process of writing her own book now.
Wow. My best wishes to her. Convey my regards to her.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, any particular comment or feedback that you have received from readers that has really touched your heart? Anything that you want to share? What feedbacks you have been getting from people who are reading your book?
Yeah, there are a few feedbacks, which I received. One was from a senior anesthetist in Hyderabad, Dr. Sunil. So he said that the non-anesthesia parts in the book, which are the mental models, are something which probably run in the background in our mind as anesthetists. So having linked those models explicitly and put an objective, I would say, note to it, has made a huge difference. So he said that has made a big thing. And of course, my family who read it, even my nephew and other kids have read the book. So it's something which the language I kept it simple. So the feedback from the kids was very good. So when they told me that now we know what you do, it made a huge difference. And the same thing has happened with my friends' families where their children have read it and they've understood what their parents do. So I think this has made a big difference as a feedback, I would say.
So one more question is, what would you say to all the fellow doctors and healthcare professionals why they should write a book? Do you think they should write a book? If yes, why they should write one?
Now, I would say that there is a book hiding in everyone. Now, it could be fiction, it could be non-fiction, or it could be poetry, because I see a lot of my juniors having given up hobbies. They're being good poets, or they probably have won awards for writing as children in school or later in college. And I feel giving up on hobbies or giving up on a passion is not the way to go. So I feel there should be a passion, and writing a book which was extremely new to me has changed the way I think. And I feel whatever is inside you, it could be it could be about something mythological, it could be something related to finance, what you experienced, and if you feel that 10 people will benefit from it, I think the effort in writing a book will go a long way.
And a piece of advice to them how they should start writing and go about publishing?
Well, the first thing is probably to get the fear out of the mind, because there's a big wall which separates that starting to write process from being, having a book within you. So I think getting over that fear and making sure that you start off with a coach or as a group, or whatever it could be, get into a program where there is some amount of framework involved, so that you're not lost, because it's easy to probably sit and write a book for 5 years, and by the time you write in the next 5 years, you would have completely changed as a person and everything. So I think it's important to get the book out fast, especially the first draft, because then the thoughts will kind of cement somewhere, and then probably sit down either with an editor or self-edit, which I think is probably the way to go.
Great, covered very important point that by yourself you might do it over 5 years, but then it will not be coherent. And
Yes.
That's why I always suggest do it fast and publish it fast, because otherwise you as a person change, language changes.
Yeah.
So that is why we do the 30-day author challenge, or max 2 months, and get it done. Yeah.
No, I think getting the first draft out is a very important thing, because you feel a sense of completion. And I still remember the day when I messaged you saying I finished my first draft, and you said 20% of the book is done. And I thought that was a joke, but later I realized it's actually just 20%. So I would say people to get the book out fast, and don't wait and don't sit on it if you have an idea.
Yeah. Great, great, great. So it was nice talking to you, Dr. Murali, and
Thank you.
I wish you a lot of success. And I wish that this is not the only book. I'm looking, after more books, looking for more books from you. Are you writing more?
Well, right now I'm taking a break from the entire writing process, and I'm probably giving the computer to my wife so that she can finish the book
Okay.
she's got it on. So I'm helping her with her book. So
Okay.
that's the way it's going. Yeah.
Super cool. So best
Thanks a
wishes.
lot for helping, and I'm sure I wouldn't have written the book if not for your guidance. That is something which I have to say, because uh, you feel lost, especially when you have a task as big as writing a book. It might feel like you're probably you want to give up halfway, or there are times when you feel like, why am I doing this? And I think having a coach who will push you will make the huge difference.
Thank you so much. And I think we are all destined. So thank you for your kind words and my best wishes to you. Hope to see you soon.
Good luck and keep doing the good work.
Yeah, same to you. Okay.
Thank you.
And I would love to read this book, and I'll definitely post a review. People
Sure.
go out there, grab a copy, and do post your review, because reviews matter a lot. And the link will be here. So I'm going to share the link here to buy this book. And if you're looking to write a book on your own, then the link would be here to join my 5-day workshop. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.